Make an entrance. Gotta do a good entrance.
There in the arch.
Yeah, the minion cake. You could do that. Catherine being shot. Photo bomb. I suppose I was asking a bit about your hair.
Oh, coming after that. Oh, but it's fine, go. Oh, but it's coming after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please be upstanding to receive your bride and groom, Catherine and Gavin.
Jump in a lake.
On behalf of both families here today, express a very warm welcome to you all and a big thank you for attending and supporting the wedding today of Catherine and Gavin. A few months ago, I noticed a little bit of information that stated that 80% of weddings in England are now apparently arranged for the months of May to July. And if this family is anything to go by, then we prove that bit of information 100% correct. As Joe and I were married on the 14th of July, 1973. Our eldest daughter, Lauren, married Neil 2 years ago on the 3rd of May. And here we are on the 17th of July, appreciating the marriage to Catherine and Gavin. And that did present me with one or two problems. The first was that I had to be very careful not to repeat most of what I said 2 years ago. And also, 2 years on, memories go, and I need to really recite the alphabet sometimes in order to get names and places right. So I hope I will be okay. Now, if there's the wedding party here today, obviously the big day is for the bride. Like all brides should be on a day like this, I can honestly say that Catherine is absolutely beautiful.
I'm not going to say no.
And like a sister 2 years before her, I can honestly say that Catherine, today you have made Mum and Dad really, really proud. So well done to you.
Be rude not to, wouldn't it?
And I'm sure Gavin would be the first to agree with that form of sentiment. If he does, then obviously the couple are off to a very good start. To the maid of honour and the bridesmaids, who carry the colour of the day with such fine style. To the wedding party, with such grace in our fine suit of clothes. And to you, the family and friends, in all your various styles. You make this a day that we can all remember. We're blessed again with a venue that really sets the tone for a wedding. And our thanks go to our hosts who have assisted us here this afternoon, and will do so through the evening and the night time, when we shall be receiving further family and friends to further celebrate the big day of the happy couple. And of course we trust that you've all enjoyed the wedding breakfast. Now, if there's some words of advice, not from me, but that can be given to newlyweds, I suppose it would be, don't pay too much attention to advertising. Advertising, that bane of us all, is it? I mean, if you're anything like me, you get great pleasure from fast-forwarding all the adverts on the TV through the recording of the planner and everything that goes with that. But one or two do get through. And it's one or two that sort of jogged my mind recently. Way back in February, there was one in the media that coincided with the premiere of the film 50 Shades of Grey. And
You didn't let him read it, Joe.
and the actual caption, the actual caption read, to all those married couples, this is true, to all those married couples that have survived the 7-year itch, you could possibly greatly benefit from viewing this film. Now, if my simple arithmetic is right, Joe and I have actually survived 6 7-year itches. And we didn't pay too much attention to that particular advert because at the time we were so tied up. That's a good start. I don't think there'll be a need to get the vicar back on. But anyway, back to forgot what I was going to say. Back to the adverts. Yeah, a little while ago, there's one was on TV, and I'm glad it was confirmed in Catherine's living room the other day. Airwaves, and I'm glad that everybody knows what airwaves is, because I was going to drop this bit out because I didn't trust to the judgment of it, but apparently there is a product called airwaves. But that sent my mind racing back to just before I was married. That's the idea of it, you see, and what's left of my memory.
What is that for your memory?
To the time that I was doing a small amount of admin work for a friend of mine, Graham Webb, before he became a famous hairdresser. I'm not dropping any names in here. But I used to stop off from my work and go into Graham's first salon that he opened in Lee Green, South East London. And I used to do a little bit of work there. Now, Graham was very innovative. He was very much ahead of himself as a hairdresser. And he actually produced one of the first trade journals in hairdressing. And it was flipping through the journals that I noticed that he was actually promoting a product called Hairwave. Gentlemen, married gentlemen, don't forget this goes back to pre-1973. Married gentlemen, look forward with confidence. Look forward with confidence to the day that your children are married, knowing full well that you can still possess a full and mature head of hair. Just 2 small applications of Airwave each day can guarantee this confidence. Well, as you can see, it wasn't long after that I realised I was going to be an absolute liability on the advertising side for the hairdressing trade. But anyway, back to today, and yeah, you're right there. I know. I know he's trying to stir it up. Yeah. Back to the day, and the wedding ceremony, it proves the love that the bride has for the groom. But it also brings together, as the vicar rightly said, two families. And with this in mind, it gives Joe and I great pleasure to formally welcome Sharon, Dave and Reese in this joining together. And we trust that we have many happy, friendly and certainly healthy years together. So a warm welcome to you there. Now, a point of interest, on this day in 1954, a celebrity wedding, the great Groucho Marx, he married Eden Hartford, the actress. And nothing much significant there, apart from the fact that Eden Hartford became one of my favourite actresses. The handful of films that she made, sadly, has all gone a little bit out of date, and no form of advertising can resurrect Eden Hartford's films, but a lovely person and a great actress. Anybody here know Eden Hartford? I've tested my girls and they don't know.
No.
I'm really working hard here, but anyway, that is really a favourite of mine. Now, back to the saner points. What was I going to say now? With two girls safely married and in the safe hands of good husbands, I suppose really I've got to start looking at my retirement again, getting my feet up. But need to look at what is life's next option for Joe and I, and it's got to be grandchildren.
Lauren?
And if I need to be occupied, until that great event occurs, then a quick look at the advertising boards, and I'm sure that I can do one or two justices there. I know they're still after a boy band in a group there, but I'm not too sure which direction that would take me, actually. But one that has actually been taken now, I was after. It was some sort of presenter on a motoring programme on BBC, but that sadly has gone to somebody else, and I feel anyway I'll be punching above my weight on that one. But the one that really catches me, with two daughters now married and the financial implications that have actually arisen from that, is the president of FIFA. And I mean, I'm not kidding you, with my sort of love of the game of football, the statistics side, the record side that I've got at home, and I don't know, that dire risk of watching all those matches on TV and not being able to fast forward because they're live matches, all the adverts that come through, and my lifelong support of Charlton Athletic never fails me, and I must say that I'm the guy for that particular position. And I would certainly look forward to the golden bungs at the end of every 4 years. That would do me just fine. But now, I think a little bit of calmness, I think. It's all right. Now, I know that I've exceeded my 4-minute slot. 4 minutes I was allocated for this speech. 4 minutes, I mean, it's the time that it takes to have a good programme on TV ruined by all those adverts. But suffice it to say that from a parental point of view, she has ticked every box possible, from the day that her birth was advertised to the advertising of, of this particular wedding here today. Yeah, she's ticked all the right boxes. And Gavin, well, I think I can safely leave him to the mercy of the best man in a few moments' time. But I will say that Gavin is a lovely lad, and I know that they are a good couple together. And we obviously wish them every success with their future. Now, before I move to proposing the toast to the happy couple. A few words of sentiment, I think. And have we got enough tissues? Anyway, a few words of sentiment. I think on behalf of us all here, I simply will say that may the cloak of love cover you both through all the years of your happiness together. May that cloak shroud you in happiness, love, peace, and good health.
Thank you.
And if it's a good cloak, it will serve you through the good days. It will strengthen you through the uncertain days, and it will sustain you through the sad days. And if that cloak is good and it's of good advertising, then it will meet all life's matters for you. And you won't need a 50 Shades of Grey or any other advertising product to prove your confidence together. Family and friends, would you please join me on the floor standing as I propose the toast, which is to Catherine and Gavin. To Catherine and Gavin.
Well done, David.
Now,
Well done.
it was at this point. It was at this point. Sorry, I'm afraid you can't really fast forward. It was at this point that I was perhaps going to take a snippet of information from this end of the table earlier today, that if I didn't get enough chuckles, I could recall the vicar to try and do the job for us. But I'm sure, is there going to be a call for Scarecrow? I don't know. But if everybody wants Scarecrow, then I will try on a new set of ears after 2 years. Now, Gavin doesn't know this, but here we go again. Gavin, he doesn't know this, but he's joining a famous family. A family that actually was awarded the Nobel Prize. As Scarecrows, we are the best in our field. Well,
You did, I thought.
it's a bit better than 2 years ago, anyway. Now, before I hand over, I hand over the response, which I know will be in the more than safe hands of Gavin. Just one final thank you, and that's to the advertising sponsors of my speech, which is Duracell, and that's really kept me going while all around appears to be tiring. Thank you very much.
Rely on you. Hello,
Cheers.
everyone.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Firstly, I just wanted to say how beautiful Catherine looks. I've been told to say that first, so that I don't forget.
Do I need
Also,
to
wouldn't forget. Yeah. It's been an amazing year since I proposed on Brighton Pier. Almost exactly a year ago. It was a year ago tomorrow, wasn't it?
Yep.
We'd organised to go down to Eastbourne you'd organised for our 5th anniversary. We very kindly stayed in Mark and Angela's hotel down in Eastbourne. And as we were leaving to go to Brighton, because I'd planned to propose in Brighton, I got pulled aside by Mark and was asked if I was about to do the right thing. At this point, I'd like to say that nobody knew that I was going to propose. I hadn't even told my parents. Nobody knew. So at that point, he pulled me aside to ask if I was going to do the right thing. And I seem to remember that a trip to Beachy Head was proposed if I didn't do the right thing. We've really enjoyed planning the whole day for the last year, getting here today, to the point where I don't know what we'd do going forward now, because it's been such a good year to get everything sorted. So thank you to you for doing that. We first met 6 years ago now. Our first date was to go and see The Hangover film at the cinema in Canterbury, and that's part of the reason that we're going to Las Vegas on our honeymoon.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I should have told you that, shouldn't I? You may wonder where the table place names come from. As you can see from some of the photos, that's places that we've been to together. Some of you have been with us, Los Angeles and, was that say Amsterdam, that one? So a few of you have been with us to those places, so that's where the table names came from. I say Kat's been fantastic in planning and creating today. And I wouldn't change anything about you, even the silly little things you say sometimes. I wanted to say thank you to Salmston Grange. Actually, I'm going to go back. Sorry. So when I proposed, we proposed on Brighton Pier. I'd planned to go down to Brighton to propose, so all day I had to hide the ring box in my pocket, which is harder said than done. Easier said than done, sorry. So I took it to the end of Brighton Pier.
And chucked me off.
Well, that was it. If you said no,
That was
you could just
it.
go for a swim. So yeah, we proposed in Brighton. Obviously, she said yes, and we got here today. So I say thank you to Salmston Grange for organising everything for us. It all looks beautiful in here. They've done so much for us today. So thank you to Della, Jane, and to Daryl, and all the other staff as well that helped us so far. I wanted to say thank you to my parents. You supported us in all the ways possible, all through life, and to get here today. Do you want to give gifts out?
Oh,
We've got
yeah.
some gifts
Sorry,
for
that's
you.
me. I forgot.
We've got little things in here for you. And if you'd like, we were going to book to go for afternoon tea somewhere, all of us together, if you'd like that.
Yeah, lovely.
That'd be very nice.
Yeah, you can sit down, Chris. So thank you for supporting us to get here today. You accepted Kat into our family from day one, to the point where after I think I told my parents that we'd got engaged. I think my mum texted to say welcome to the family, almost like mafia style. Also I want to say thank you to Kat's parents as well, again for accepting me into the family. Apologies, David, for not actually asking permission to marry your daughter.
Oh, that's
Didn't actually get round to it.
I think we did somehow.
Yeah. So after I proposed, obviously Kat phoned her parents to let her know the good news. To which point I was handed her phone and said, "My dad wants to speak to you." And I thought that I may be going for a swim rather than her. So thank you for, again, getting us here today, all your support. We've bounced lots of silly ideas off of you, things we were going to try out. Sorry about the boards.
No.
Us getting here today. Got some gifts as well. Do you want me to do it? Whereabouts are they?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
There you go. There's some, I don't know if there's some roses in
Don't.
So today really is not all about us. Really it's about making our parents proud, getting here today.
And we are.
Thank you to the bridesmaids for helping Kat out. You all look great today in your dresses. I'm sure there were no dramas with the dresses at all.
No. Absolutely fine.
Lauren is maid of honour. We've got Sean, Becky and Emily at the back there. Special thanks to Emily for stepping in at short notice. Well done, Emily. I want to say thank you for my team. Also got Rob, who I'll come back to in a moment. We've got Jason, Lewis and my brother Reese. Thanks to Rob for organising the brilliant stag do. Well, everyone helped, but obviously you organised it. We went to Nottingham for obviously nights out, but we also did a sort of activity weekend. One of the activities was sumo wrestling with big sumo suits on. So well done to Neil. He was the only person in our team that won. Unlucky Terry. So we had a great weekend. We did also an assault course, sort of like an army style assault course. So special mention goes out to the cannon 3, 2, 1. Bang! That was one of the things we had to do.
Oh,
we had
wasn't here. I only got that last night.
We had a cannon. There's a big assault course, and there was a cannon that we had to take apart each time and put back together again, and then shout that. So that was cool. Lastly, thank you to all for coming. Some of you have come from a little bit further away. We've taken over half the pub in our town, haven't we? In our village, we're all staying there tonight. We have obviously a DJ coming in the evening. He'll probably be here soon. And there's a photo booth as well, which is going in the little room just over there. So you can have as many photos as you like. There's all silly props and everything. But be aware, you get a copy of the photographs, but we get a copy of all of them. All right, and they will be going on various social media and Facebook and Instagram.
Why are you looking at me?
Obviously, we have our first dance as well. It's nothing spectacular, so please don't get too excited. Halfway through, we will be inviting people to stand up or to come up, have a dance as well. So my last thing is to raise a toast to my beautiful new wife, Catherine. So if you could all please stand, please.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, yeah. To Catherine.
To Catherine.
Thanks.
It's all right.
God bless you. Well done.
And that's.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I get started, if there's anybody here feeling nervous, apprehensive or queasy at the thought of what lies ahead, it's probably because you've just married Gavin. For those that don't know me, I'm Rob, and I've been given the honour of being Gavin's best man, and the final obstacle between you and the bar. And as I understand it, I'm required to make a speech. But I just want to reassure you all that although it took me 4 months to write this speech, it should only take me 4 minutes to stumble through it. On behalf of the bride and groom, I would like again to say thank you to everyone here for being part of their special day. It goes without saying, but I will say it anyway, that they are both so touched that so many of their closest friends and family have been part of their day. I would like to say thank you to the wedding party, the bridesmaids, and the ushers for making this day possible. Gav and Kat are lucky to have such close friends and family they called upon to be part of their day. Josie and David, your hard work and dedication and everything you have done to make this day one that Gav and Kat will cherish forever is above and beyond the call of duty. Everyone has been touched by your warmth and kindness, and more importantly, you have raised a daughter you can be proud of.
Well done. Thank you.
Sharon, Dave, you have also raised a son you can be proud of. He sets a good example to us all. Well, most of the time anyway. Like Josie and David, you have also put in an enormous amount of hard work and dedication to make this day special, and we thank you both very much, and it is one that will live in the memories forever. Neither of you should see it as losing a son or daughter, but you have both gained an extra member of your family. Now, I know traditionally the best man's meant to tell all kinds of amusing stories about the groom, but I'm not going to do that for 3 reasons. First, we are only allowed to stay till 1 AM, and in terms of stories, that will only take us to about the age of 16 for Gavin. Second, the goal of these stories is to embarrass Gav, but allow me to reassure you all he is more than capable of doing that himself. There is also another problem. I'm sure you're all aware of the phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, there's another saying, what happens on Gavin's stag weekend is an ongoing court case, and he's during court next month, but to be fair, we all thought they were girls too, Gav.
Oh dear.
However, I will give you a brief description of how we met. I've known Gavin for a very long time. The first time we met was back in play school. But we didn't become real friends until junior school, where we have built up a friendship that has lasted for over 20 years. I feel privileged to call you my friend, and we have been through a lot together. There have been many more highs than lows, and we have had some great experiences with each other. We've had weekends away, we've had holidays abroad, sleepovers when we were kids. I've seen you get drunk and make a fool of yourself on more than one occasion. And I've also
Amen
learned
to that.
I've also learnt that you, alcohol and buses just do not mix.
I'd just like to add cars as well.
And if I ever needed a helping hand or a shoulder to cry on, I knew you would always be there.
Aw.
I'm so happy you have found your one true love, and I know how happy Kat makes you. You now have a beautiful and talented partner for life, someone to share the highs and bring the comfort during the lows. A person who will make each day worth living and be the source of wonderful memories to come. And Kat, you now have a really nice ring. Kat, you deserve someone, a man who's your equal, a man who is always there for you and cares for you like no other can, a man who will love you and protect you and encourage you as a true soulmate without whom life would not be the same, and luckily for you, you have found that someone. But above all, it's been wonderful because it has felt so natural. I couldn't tell you the point I knew Kat was the one for Gav, and I think that speaks volumes. Granted, she has always been in my phone as Kat Weston, but that has been more to do with my poor memories for names. Her being part of Gav's life is constant, and that has never been in question. Never did we think if they would get married, but when. And I'm certain that their love for each other will be strong enough to last forever. To round this off, love is a language spoken by everyone, but understood by only the heart. It is a song that never ends. It's about finding the person you can't live without. You can't live with, but you can't live without. My lifelong friend has now found that person. Could I ask Gav and Kat to stand and look at each other?
Hang on.
Friends and family, we delight you in your marriage and offer our encouragement and support. Here is a toast to a long life filled with adventure, love and cherished moments. And with that, could I ask everyone else to stand?
Well done.
And raise your glasses to Gav and Kat.
Okay.
Well done, Gav and Kat.
Cheers.
Well done.
Cheers. Well done.
That's it.